let's go outside and see some of the offerings out here. That is the new Santa Fe. Hyundai Santa Fe. Brand new. It is hot and sweaty out here. I might get sunburned. The things I do for all of you. It looks like Subaru has a track out here. They're driving the Forester around. Yeah, why not go for a little ride on some VR? Toyota, a new Land Cruiser. Oh, I'm excited to see this one. This is my first time taking a look at the brand new Land Cruiser. I know they've been out for a while, but they're kind of a rare sight. Yeah, I have seen the older ones, but these new ones I haven't seen in Vietnam yet. I love it. It looks great. And I know that they're like $30,000 cheaper than they used to be. You can get the Prado one. Let's take a look inside. Oh yeah, you can feel there's a difference. There's a difference. You can feel it's not as solid as the older one. So that's where the cost savings are. I mean, it's a remarkable difference than the Land Cruisers of the past, 20 years. But I'm okay with that. Boy, this looks great. Look at that. Pretty popular. This thing is massive. And check it out, they have an Alphard. All right. I saw these a lot in China, but mostly in Macau and Hong Kong. These were like shuttles for super rich people. These things are not cheap. These are very expensive. And the reason is because they're just so luxurious. I mean, look at those seats. I mean, even the leather just is a premium leather in this. I mean, everything is just beautiful in this. Wow. The Alphard could be over $100,000 for a minivan. Yeah, they won't even let you sit in the seats here. What is that? The FT3E. Some electric cars trying to come out, but they're focused more on internal combustion still, which is fine by me. Of course, the Corolla Cross. I really like the Corolla Cross. I think it's, for a market like Southeast Asia, this is like the perfect size little crossover. And I have a family member that has one. I've drove it around for a little bit in Yanbai and I loved it. Oh, this is the Yaris Cross. So they're doing this cross thing with all of their smaller cars. I haven't seen the Yaris Cross yet. And not bad. This is actually really nice in here, guys. It's just the look of it, because it is so short in the back, I feel like it's a little funky looking compared to the Corolla Cross, which just has better proportions in my opinion. A Nova Cross. So the Innova is just like the Xpander. It's used quite a bit for Grab drivers, but this one's big and new. I haven't seen this one yet, but you can see just how big the back seat is. Then you have the Camry. Camrys are very expensive here. They're a little bit boring, but a solid vehicle still. I've been for how many decades now? It's a little big for Vietnam, but I like the front end though. That looks really nice. Definitely a lot more sporty than they have been in the past. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Next we have another Chinese brand, GAC. There's only two cars that they offer in Vietnam, GAC, coming from China. That is their M8, their Master, which is their minivan, and then they have the GS8. Now, I saw the GS8 a couple of years ago in Shenzhen, and GAC is ranked as one of the top vehicles for quality in China. And I've said this before, Chinese cars, some of them are really bad, but some of them are really, really good. This is one of them. Not one, not two, but 4 LED lights in the front. Look at that front grille. The GS8 interior is really where it shines too. I mean, look at that. I love that. It's just so pretty. I mean, it is 3 rows, but look how much space you have back there. This is their new Master 8, the M8. It can look, it kind of looks like an Alphard a little bit, but much cheaper than an Alphard. Wow. I love this sloping center console. That is just gorgeous. Very elegant. This is their smaller one that will probably end up being used more as, this is the M6 Pro. Probably more for the, yeah, so you can get into one of these for about 700 million. So what is that? That's still rather cheap. You know, that's under $30,000 for this. So I'm sure you'll see a lot of these as here in Vietnam as grab cars and shuttle cars, airport shuttles, things like this. Yeah, you can feel there's a definite difference in here, but it's still really nice compared to the Mitsubishi and the Toyota offerings. This is very nice, and it's much cheaper. 3 rows. I mean, look at the back seat. I mean, this is the ultimate grab car for under $30,000. Lame. Subaru. Everyone knows Subaru. They don't change their cars very often, but when they do, it's big news. The Outback has been around forever. Now, these are very expensive here in Vietnam because of the import taxes, and therefore, as wonderful as a car they would be in Vietnam, they're just too expensive because of those import taxes. However, this one, the Forester, is very popular, and that's because not only is it a good car for the market, but it's built here in Southeast Asia, so they don't have the import taxes that they do for the cars that are made in Japan. Now, this is the older Forester. There's a new one coming out soon, and we're all kind of waiting for that, but this one's still a solid vehicle for the price, considering its age. But if you want to wait, you got to wait for the new one. And of course, the BRZ. Oh, this is beautiful. Yeah, it's locked. They won't let me in this one, but yeah, who doesn't love the BRZ? Look at the size of that wing. That's ridiculous, a wing like that on this thing. Now, the BRZ is only a car you can drive in the city. You go outside the cities here, and this thing, you won't be able to get anywhere with it, but it's still beautiful, and these are a lot of fun to drive. The Crosstrek. I have a friend of mine that has one of these in Da Nang, and she loves it. I love it. I think it's good looking. I think it's a great car for the market. All-wheel drive, of course. Look at the size of that screen. That's kind of a departure from Subaru. We usually have the 2 tiers of the screens. If you guys want me to do a full review on the Subarus, I have a contact that will allow me to do that. Isuzu. The MUX. I remember the days of the old Isuzu rodeos and the Isuzu Troopers. They're much different than those days. Yeah, see, you know, it's a good looking car, but you know, it's not the higher end quality vehicles that we come to expect from Japan. But then they have the new D-Max. The 4-door pickup trucks there, especially when they put all the extra stuff on the bed and the light bars and all that, they all kind of look alike. Isuzu is more known for their commercial vehicles here in Southeast Asia, but they do have their offerings. Not an expensive pickup, pretty cheap actually. Honda has a lot of cars that they sell here. They're one of the top selling brands. They have a Type R. Of course, the Civic, the City, the BRV, the HRV, and then the CRV is over there. These are rather cheap you know, little vehicles, but solid. I mean, good engines. They'll last forever. I won't spend too much time on the Hondas. Everyone knows Honda. Alright, now we come to the part of the show that has some of the smaller vendors. You get to see some interesting aftermarket stuff. Some wraps, tint, audio visual, security, all kinds of neat stuff. Some of the more expensive cars you'll find hidden in these like little booths. This is Nguyen. Nguyen is a electric bike company that's kind of a startup here in Ho Chi Minh City. Yes, Cleveland. From the US, Cleveland Motorbikes.